Why is trade so important from your prism, through the prism of the UBS client?
Well, because this is eventually one of the factors, together with geopolitical risk, that can basically change the pace, the positive pace that we are seeing right now in the economy. I mean, we still have, although the last quarter in the U.S. was not what we expected, but still on a global basis we are still growing closer to the 4% than the 3.5%. So pretty strong growth globally. And what I can see coming in terms of potential escalation of protectionism is a slowdown in the overall economy, and therefore one has to be concerned about that.
And to what extent do you think that's going to dictate central bank policy as well? We've got the Fed hoping to move, guiding us towards more movements. The ECB's got a whole other set of issues to deal with. What does it do to policy in terms of rates around the world?
Well, if I look at probably the latest events in the last 2 or 3 weeks or so, if you look at Bank of England, if you look at the ECB, most likely they're going to be a little bit more cautious potentially about hiking. Bank of England has clearly signaled that lately, and I think probably the ECB is going to be a little bit on a wait and see until they see Europe stabilizing. The US, it's all depending on inflation and what's going to happen going forward. So I think that there is a chance that the Fed may go on its own and still deliver the expected hikes between now and year end.
Have you seen any caution from the client side, any hedging, any movement towards cash, any sort of angst in this quarter from the client side?
Well, look, we are recommending clients to still be in the market because the underlying profitabilities, the growth that we see are still supportive of equities in general terms, but we are also very careful in signaling that the cyclicality may come in, the geopolitical risks and geoeconomic risks that I mentioned before may be there, therefore hedging. Thinking about diversification and hedging is an absolute must in this environment, and one has to pay attention not to be too complacent.